Dark Psychology: How to Analyze People, Read Body Language, and Defend Yourself from Persuasion Techniques and Toxic People. Written by Alfred Borden. Narrated by Tom Sandler and Eleanor Webb.
Chapter 1. What is dark psychology? Dark psychology is the study of the human condition because it relates to the psychological nature of individuals who prey upon people, impelled by criminal and/or deviant drives that lack purpose and general assumptions of instinctual drives and scientific discipline theory. All of humanity has this potential to victimize different humans and living creatures. Whereas several restrain or sublimate this tendency, some choose to act upon these impulses. Dark psychology seeks to know those thoughts, feelings, perceptions, and subjective process systems that result in predatory behavior that's antithetic to modern understandings of human behavior. Dark psychology assumes that criminal, deviant, and abusive behaviors are purposeful and have some rational, goal-oriented motivation 99% of the time. Dark psychological elements are from Adlerian theory and also the philosophical theory. Dark psychological science postulates that there's a locality among the human psyche that permits some individuals to commit atrocious acts with no purpose. During this theory, it's been coined as the dark singularity. Dark psychology shows that each one of humanity features a reservoir of malevolent intent towards others, starting from minimally obtrusive and momentaneous thoughts to pure psychopathological deviant behaviors with no cohesive rationality. This is to be known as the dark continuum. Mitigating factors acting as accelerants and/or attractants to approaching the dark singularity, and wherever a person's atrocious actions fall on the dark continuum, is what dark psychology calls dark factors. Temporary introductions to those ideas are illustrated below. It's just recently that this was finally conceptualized with a definition, philosophy, and psychological science of this facet of the human condition. Dark psychology encompasses all that produces we tend to be in relationship to our darkness. All cultures, faiths, and every humanity have this proverbial cancer. From the instant we tend to be born to the time of death, there's a facet lurking among all that some have known as evil and have outlined as criminal, deviant, and pathological. Dark psychology introduces a three-step philosophical construct that views these behaviors totally different from spiritual dogmas and modern scientific discipline theories. When animals hunt, they usually stalk and kill the youngest, weakest, or females of the cluster. Though this reality sounds psychopathological, the explanation for his or her chosen prey is to cut back their own livelihood for injury or death. All animal life acts and behaves during this manner. All their brutal, violent, and bloody actions relate to the speculation of evolution, survival, and instinct for survival and replication. As you may learn when reading this manuscript, there are not any dark psychological science applications once it involves the remainder of life on our planet. We humans are those who possess what dark psychological science tries to explore. Theories of evolution, survival, and natural instincts, and their theoretical tenets, appear to dissolve once we examine the human condition. We tend to be the sole creatures on the face of the planet that preys on one another, while not the explanation of breeding for the survival of the species. Humans area unit the sole creatures that prey upon others for deep motivations. Dark psychological science addresses that a part of the human psyche or universal human condition that permits for and will even impel predatory behavior. Dark psychological science assumes there's one thing that influences our actions, and it's anti-evolutionary. We tend to be the sole species which will murder each other for reasons aside from survival, food, territory, or breeding. Following are the tenets necessary to fully grasp dark psychology as follows. Number 1. Dark psychology
Sample complete. Ready to continue?